Hello everyone and welcome to the Home Cook, where today we are going to be making a chicken sausage soup. So to start this recipe, we're going to be using 4 ounces of kale, a large carrot, a yellow onion, and a clove of garlic. You're also going to be bringing 1 tablespoon of butter to room temperature, but this has really nothing to do with the recipe itself, but rather the garnish that goes in with the soup. So you can really skip this step if you don't want to add that, but more on that later. So we will start by thinly slicing in a clove of garlic, and we're going to be dicing a onion, finely chopping an onion. So I'm practicing more and more with the proper way to cut an onion. The first one didn't go so well. It went all right. I definitely missed a crucial step. But the second one went much more smoothly, and I didn't have to chop it up again like you'll see right now. This is just to get a little more finely chopped, and I'll have such large pieces. So you'll be cutting the entire onion up. Here we have it. Then we're going to peel our carrot, and we're going to cut it into small dices. So I'll just cut off the ends here real quick. Toss this aside, and I'm going to start by cutting this in half, then cutting each of the halves in thirds, and then I'm going to be cutting them, dicing them up. I want a lot smaller pieces in my soup, not so large. If you want larger pieces, you don't have to cut them up so finely. I didn't cut them up super small, but I did cut them up fairly small. Here we have it. And now we're going to be peeling the kale. So you'll just basically, after you've washed it, you'll peel it out. You'll take it out each little piece at a time, and just try to peel off the thick stem. It can be annoying to eat, so it's really about preference. Next, we're going to be drizzling some olive oil in a medium-high heat pan. Then going to be adding some chicken sausage. This is Italian chicken sausage. You can find this at most grocery stores. You can buy it. If you happen to find it with the casing, just remove it out of the casing. I was able to find it without the casing, so it was not a problem for me. This is only half a pound though, so you might have to find a pound, cut it in half, however it works. Then you're going to be adding, after you've cooked it a while, it started to brown on the outsides. You're going to add a little bit more olive oil, and then you're going to stir in the carrots, onions, kale, and a big pinch of salt. The kale is going to get messy if you don't have a large enough pan like I did, but don't worry, as it cooks down, it's going to get smaller and smaller. And here we are, just kind of fumbling it all around, make sure all the pieces are incorporated, and slowly stirring, and already you can see it's starting to go down. It's fantastic. Once it gets to this point, I didn't necessarily continuously stir, but I did stir occasionally. After it's cooked, everything's nice and soft, small. Just take like 5 minutes or so. You're then going to add the garlic. You're going to add some Italian seasoning. So I believe you're only going to add half a tablespoon of Italian seasoning too. Then you're going to add your stock, just chicken stock concentrate, just bouillon, essentially all it is. So I believe it was like 1 tablespoon. And then you're also going to be adding 3.5 cups of water. Stir this all around, make sure it gets deglazed, all the brown bits get removed from the bottom of the pan, and then after it kind of heats up, you're going to add the couscous, bring it to a boil, cover it, and let it simmer until al dente, about 7 minutes or so. Then this is for the garnish. If you want, it's just a piece of ciabatta bread. You just toast it up in the toaster. I could have probably done a pan, but I didn't want to do anything else. Add some salt because I forgot. Nice stir, and close it back up. Don't want to take out the fails, Sometimes I forget, but it doesn't ruin the recipe. So the other piece is white because I did toast it, but I toasted it too long, and I had to like cut that entire brown layer off. But here we are. Then you're going to be using the garlic, some of the garlic powder, to pour on it to make it like a sort of like garlic bread. It's okay. It's definitely like cheap in a pinch, but it's whatever. Wasn't necessarily the highlight of the dish, but it made something nice to eat while I waited for it to cook. So once it gets right to the point where it's about to be finished, or essentially when it's finished basically, you're going to stir in about half of the Parmesan, so about 1/8 of a cup, putting in some salt, some pepper, stirring it up. I think I ended up just pretty much putting in all of the Parmesan. I saved a small amount for the ciabatta bread, but I really like Parmesan. I like it on my dish. And then I topped a little bit too. So here we are, finished chicken sausage soup. And taste test. Everything looks really nice together. It blends really well, not too salty. Probably could have might added slightly more salt, but it was really good nonetheless. It all incorporated really well together. It's a lot of vegetables, which I'm a huge fan of. A little bit of the chicken sausage, so more like a I don't even necessarily know like what kind of cuisine it would be. But thank you so much. Have a great day.